The first being what's been ripping all the umpires, which is phenomenal to see. I mean, listen, we've all seen bad referees in all the sports, and how arrogant these guys are. I don't know if I've seen a more arrogant referee or umpire than the home plate umpire. Like, for some reason, of all the guys who are umpiring those games, whenever they put that big chest pad on and the face mask on, the term humble just goes right out the door with them. They control everything. Their arrogance is through the roof.
I kind of guessed, Tim, that you don't watch OKC games, do you?
That's assuming I watch basketball in the first place.
I'm just saying those referees and officials there throw everything out the window unless you're OKC. But continue, please.
Exactly. Well, I do want to say, listen, I've said this on my show before. I love the sport of basketball. Love playing it. When it's real, I love watching it. It's a lot of fun. But God, the NBA product now just sucks. Growing up in an era where you had Patrick Ewing, you had Allen Iverson driving to the hole against oh gosh, it was Shaq, like old school Shaq, whatever. That was a good product. Otherwise, back to my point. The fact that the home plate umpires are finally being called out due to this automated balls and strike system has been great. It really has been fun to watch these guys. And the ones that miss by like 0.1 inches, I'm like, okay, I'm not mad about that. But when you get the ones that, the one, I think it was like Pittsburgh, it was right down the friggin' pipe. And he called it a ball. I was like, in what world? You know, like it's great to see. But the thing that drew me to it is not just obviously getting to ridicule the umpires and hopefully teach them to, I don't know, call a fair game. But when talking about Alex Cora's planning to attack, he answered it with, don't be afraid to use it. Now, I understand that you don't get to carry them over if the game goes into extra innings, so don't be afraid. But if you burn through your challenges in the first 3 innings, like, what are we doing? You know, like there's got to be some sort of strategy behind this. Do you agree?
I think there's going to be a lot of strategy. I think that there's going to be certain players that are going to get the okay. Mm-hmm. The ones that really know. Roman Anthony knows that strike zone phenomenally.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, so I think he's going to be definitely one that's going to be, you know, able to
dictate
everything. Wilson Contreras is going to be another one that I think really knows the strike zone. Trevor Story. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking that they're going to be more the ones that are going to lean on. Tristan Casas, when he comes back, is another one that really knew the strike zone. And, you know, I'm sure we're going to be talking about him, Tim.
This guy. He's a Jeremy Swayman of the Boston Red Sox, but continue.
But look, I also think that you're going to see Carlos Aviles on the catching aspect of it, being able to
for behind the plate, that's your best view.
You know, and I also think that there's going to be some strategy too, because what the catcher, if the umpire sees the catcher like move the glove up dramatically, mm-hmm. you know, it's a little bit tougher. Even if the player, you know, sees it, it's going to be a little bit tougher. But once the other team loses or uses all their ABS challenges,
yeah,
the catcher has the advantage then, per se, because they can, you know, try to sneak and get that extra strike because they can't challenge it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, when and that's the thing, because I saw a video earlier from last spring training. I think it was the Mets and Phillies. I think we're playing against one another, and Juan Soto's up the bat, and the guy threw a crazy slider that just broke right in on Soto and clearly was over the plate, like not the heart of the plate, but he definitely painted the black on that one. But the catcher catches it and like whips the glove like right here. So he goes from here to here. And when I was growing up, I was the catcher. And when I was going to these Tufts baseball camps with the legendary coach John Casey there, and one of the things I learned is as a catcher, yes, you want to frame the pitches. Absolutely. That's part of your job. But when I see catchers go from here to here or some crazy movement and they get the call, like if it gets down here and they bring it up and the guy umpire calls a strike, I'm sitting there going, are you blind? Did you not see that arm go 5 feet? But what Casey and Tufts taught me, and again, I am talking, not playing, but it was turn your body. So if you're calling an inside pitch, already set yourself up where you're adjusting your body. So you're not necessarily moving the glove, you're just moving your body. And that's what gives the frame of reference to the umpire. So he doesn't see that dramatic glove move. And that's why you get the call more often than the dramatic glove move. Otherwise,
well, I also caught, but I'm older than you. So when I caught, there was no one knee down, one knee up. Was that your style?
No, that wasn't my style either. No.
Yeah,
I had I had to have the knee savers on the back.
We didn't have the knee savers. That's why my knees are shot, dropping down and holding it back there. We didn't have the knee savers back in the late 90s.
Yeah, I was the early 2000s, so I they just came out. But I agree with you. It's the laziness behind the plate. Now listen, that's my opinion. Like I look at all the one knee down and the other leg kicked all the way out. There's no rhyme or reason for that. Especially too when you get to high school and college, you see these guys and they're playing legit. They're not doing that.
But I always looked at it as the one leg out. That gives your body less of a chance if a ball gets away. It's that whole side's wide open. Where if you're in front of it still, drop down, spread out. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But yeah, this ABS system, I'm looking at going, it's great because not only do we get to ridicule the home plate umpire, especially if they're wrong, but I look at it now as it's not necessarily something we can blame Alex Cora for. Now we actually get to look at and say to the player, why would you challenge that? I understand it's on the outside of the plate, but you got to have better spatial awareness for that because that's, I'm just making a scenario up. But it's actually puts more of the weight on the player now so that if you do, let's say, get to the bottom of the ninth, you get the winning run, bases loaded, the winning run is on third. Fuck it. Shit. Damn it. I try to be good, but it comes out. But you get the winning run on third, and you have a 3-2 count, and you challenge because the ball paints the black. Oh my gosh, you're gonna get ripped into if you end up losing that game. It's a lot more interesting. The one thing I have yet to figure out, and I've been reading MLB.com, I've been trying to figure this out. You get 2 challenges. You get to do they just keep going until you lose the 2? Or like if you use your 2 challenges and you won both, do you get 2 more? Or do you just get 1 more and it's 3 maximum? I haven't seen anything on that.
I'm not 100% sure.
I know, because I've read the rules over and over and over, and I don't know. They say you get to continue on, but it's one of those weird things.